Welcome to the SVG-TV News for Friday, April 24th. I'm Carol Cato. On Thursday, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines handed over letters of offers for 37 housing lots to residents of Carapan. The handing over ceremony, which took place at the Sinclair Dakin Secondary School, heard remarks from Chairman of the Housing and Lands Development Corporation, Sir Vincent Beach, who says he is grateful to be alive to see the culmination of this matter. Sir Vincent says when he served as area representative for South Windward many years ago, he started agitating for the regularization of the process for the persons who squatted on lands in Carapan to have the proper tenure.
It was not easy because persons, when they're squatting, they look for a nice piece of land. They're not concerned about boundaries. And as time went on, it became even more an arduous task because we realized then people were buying motor vehicles and they wanted to be able to drive their motor vehicles into their yards. That was not an easy task. And so we had to realign, get surveyors more than once or twice to come back. But I'm glad that today the lands have been surveyed, their boundary marks, and so that those of you who are getting your letters of offer, if you take it up, would have legal possession to whatever the square footage of land is.
And current parliamentary representative for the constituency, Frederick Stevenson, says he is extremely pleased to see the offer letters being distributed to the informal settlers for the lands they have been occupying for the last 20 to 30 years at a cost of 50 cents per square foot.
I don't think you can get it any better than that, and I think you deserve to give us another round of applause. It is the policy of this government to ensure that persons who have been occupying state lands for many years can have title deeds to their lands. And what does that do for you? It ensures that you, once you take up the offer and you pay for your lands, you get your deeds, you can now go to the bank and negotiate a loan to do the improvements on your homes, to ensure that you can send your children to university, despite the fact that the government too offers the... Yes, we have to keep this government there.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says his government continues to demonstrate its commitment to meeting the housing needs of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Before you come to address any issue in government, before you set out any specific program, you must first have a philosophy from which you deliver a policy. You don't start with programs and get to policy. You start with philosophy. And the philosophy of the Unity Labour Party is a philosophy which is people-centered. It is called social democracy. Social because it encompasses all the people, the rich and the poor.
Dr. Gonsalves says they will continue to show the power of love as they seek to improve the quality of life of all Vincentians.
We come to housing with that spirit of love. And we say in the housing program which we are delivering on today, we are showing the power of love. Whereas the other side, what they're showing you is the love of power. And that's a choice that you're facing. You get from the ULP the power of love as demonstrated today in the land distribution.
The Teachers Cooperative Credit Union Limited hosted a general meeting yesterday afternoon at the Methodist Church Hall as it marks its 37th anniversary. President of the Board of Directors, Dwight says going forward several policies will be revised and thanked all the persons involved in strengthening the organization.
Going forward, there's need for us to review some of our policies under which we currently operate. Update some and possibly do away with others in our unyielding pursuit to provide you, the members, with even more efficient and better services. Teachers Credit Union was built on strong, solid principles that have endured over the years. In this regard, I want to thank all those persons who have contributed in making this credit union the strong and viable entity it is today.
Lewis further notes that the primary challenge encountered for the year thus far is finding suitable investments in a somewhat unstable global economy. Well, that should be stable investments in the somewhat unstable economy. He added that the union is keen on significantly reducing the numbers of delinquent payments.
One of the most significant challenges of the past year has been finding solid, safe investments that provide a good rate of return. Notwithstanding the challenges, the Board of Directors is recommending to this AGM the approval of a dividend payout of 5% to members. And the interest rebate of 3%. On the issue of delinquency, you will note from the report a decrease from 8% in 2013 to 6% in 2014. We will continue to monitor and follow up on these loans with the intention of getting closer to the recommended best practice of less than 5%.
Lewis says additional manpower was added to the recoveries unit to deal with the issue and is encouraging members to make their payments on time.
To this end, additional manpower was added to the recoveries unit. As a result, there has been increased adherence to the delinquency policy. More delinquent members are being called on a regular basis. More reminder letters are being sent to delinquent members. More delinquent accounts are being refinanced. More arrears are being repaid, and more files are being sent to the attorney.
According to the board president, the TCCU is also working to stay relevant in this age of technology, and they have been making the necessary adjustments.
You will appreciate the fact that the world is now a global village as a result of advances in information and communication technologies. Accordingly, we have commenced the process of modernization of our operations to improve our service offerings and to ensure that we remain competitive and relevant to you. We have invested in an ATM, and the cover of your report would show that. And in the coming weeks, we'll conduct a soft launch of our online business platform, which will eventually give you the opportunity to do more business with your credit union from the comfort of your home through the use of your computers, or on the road with your smartphones, or with other devices which provides you with connectivity.
On Monday, 20 farmers from Region 3 will be engaged in a one-day workshop on good agricultural practices. The workshop will be held at the Greg's Primary School from 3 p.m. and will be facilitated by agricultural officers Keeney Monix and Gail De Silva. Issues of environmental, economic, and social sustainability will also be addressed at the workshop. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, providing consumers with safe fruits and vegetables is now a major responsibility of the agriculture and food industry here, and that the safety and quality of fresh produce are affected by the growing, harvesting, washing, sorting, packing, and storing, along with transportation practices used on the farm. The 2015 SVG Gospel Festival will climax this weekend with 3 programs tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday. The Gospel Fest Committee will stage a special song night entitled Sing a New Song at the Hope for Life Restoration Ministries in Arnesville tonight from 7, where artists are being encouraged to sing an original song and win prizes, with the possibility of having their song recorded. On Saturday night, the Beckway Gospel Showcase will be held at the Clive Tannis Playing Field in Port Elizabeth with featured artist evangelist Bridget Blucher. Then on Sunday night at the Victoria Park, the National Gospel Showcase takes place. There will be performances in song, dance, and drama from some of the most outstanding artists coming out of the zonal showcases held last weekend. The coordinator of the Barbados Gospel Fest, Adrian Agard, will be here observing the festival as the SVG Gospel Festival Committee looks to develop closer ties with other regional gospel festivals and provide opportunities for local artists to perform overseas. The 2015 Gospel Festival is being celebrated under the theme Restoring the Land. The festival is into its 13th year. The launch of Vincimas 2015 will take place at the Victoria Park for the first time next Saturday, May 2nd. Activities will commence from 11 a.m. with pan music at Heritage Square and appearances by the 2015 Junior Calypso and Soca finalists. Other entertainment includes the C.W. Prescott Marching Band and a dance performance. The Heritage Square activities will culminate at 3 p.m., giving patrons an opportunity to refresh themselves for the official launch, which begins at 7. The Carnival Development Corporation says this year a parade dubbed the Celebration Train will journey from Heritage Square to the Victoria Park. This procession begins at 5 p.m. and features all components of Vincimas with a display of floats from the major sponsors of the festival. Following the official speeches, the Miss SVG contestants will make their first public appearance. This will be followed by presentations from mass bands, a steel band, and then the new song competition for Calypso, Raga, and Power Soca. And speaking of the 8 contestants vying for the Miss SVG title 2015, they, along with reigning queen Shadisha George, made a courtesy call to Minister of Tourism, Sports and Culture Cecil Sasmaki at his office in the NIS building in Kingstown yesterday. The occasion was designed to allow the Culture Minister one-on-one time with the Miss SVG delegates as the 8 contestants count down the days to the big night when the show is staged at the Victoria Park on Saturday, May 30th. The contestants are Precious Abraham, Miss French Veranda; Malicia Antwine, Miss Metrosin General Insurance Company Limited; Vikisha Charles, Miss Lotto; Chantal Dells, Miss Agricultural Input Warehouse; Deonti Mears, Miss Musty Company Limited; Disha Murray, Miss Play 4; Donna Nelson, Miss Dipcon Engineering; and Anika Robinson, Miss Lime. The contestants will be officially sashed by the sponsors at the Vincimas launch. This afternoon, the Ministry of Education and Hodder Education held the prize-giving ceremony for the 2015 Primary Schools Writing Competition. Addressing the ceremony, Senior Education Officer with responsibility for primary schools, Elizabeth Walker, says that the Ministry of Education, through this competition and several others, has taken the lead in nurturing the creative talents of the young people in SVG. She added that the ministry endeavors to provide literacy, expression, and encourage creativity among the young by celebrating their excellence and imagination. Walker further stated that she is pleased by the results of this year's competition, since the students were all very good and choosing the top 10 was a difficult task.
Through this forum, our students are allowed to express not only their experiences and views about the world, but also their dreams and aspirations. It is our expectation that this platform would serve as a nurturing bed for some of the most powerful composers in this land. As I look at you students, I see our future publishers, journalists, composers of powerful and mind-boggling poems, calypsos, and other genre of writings that would continue to preserve our very rich heritage and our culture.
Meanwhile, Walker is urging parents and educators to work along with each child to assist them in realizing their full potential. She is also encouraging students who have a talent for writing to always strive to develop this art form and to use their talents to magnify issues that affect them as well as other children across the world.
I urge you students and parents not to take today's success as an opportunity to chalk up another trophy or medal to be placed on a shelf. Rather, I recommend that as educators, teachers, parents, and well-wishers, we will help our students to recognize the potential that lie within each child and to work with him or her to further develop the seed that has been germinated through this forum. Let us guide them to use their pens, literally and figuratively, not merely to demonstrate their mastery of the skills being taught or the prowess that they have developed. In addition, you must also use this capability to stimulate and provoke discussions about important local, regional, global issues like poverty, sustainable development, gender inequality, child labor, abuse. And
the overall winner was Donya Lucas of the Calico Anglican School. Second place went to Jericho Williams of the Kittels Government, while Danielson Ferguson of the Kingstown Preparatory School had to settle for the third position. Here's an excerpt from the top three reading from the pieces they wrote.
He has very short, dirty hair and has a gigantic bald spot in the middle of his head. He has approximately 10 teeth in his mouth, and all of them are as black as coals. He has only one attire, which is his black dirty shirt with a large long black pants with over a dozen holes in it. The only thing that hasn't changed about him is his obsession with books.
He got stabbed in one eye, which caused him to be blind. He is as tall as a coconut tree and has a very bad odor that will make your nose burn. He takes no showers nor baths. He has brown eyes and cracky black lips. He only has 2 teeth which are as black as tar.
Sheets of paper from my unsubmitted health homework were peeping from under my table. Chocolate stained my white rug. My science tadpole project had now turned into a frog, filling my room with its loud, bellowing croaks. Colorful birds had flown into my room. They were now cheerfully singing their songs. Loud music blasted from my earphones. The air smelled of last night's pizza. My priceless French perfume now lay in ruins. These two smells mixed to form a choking stench, captivating my room.
A 54-year-old carpenter and mason, Kenneth Barker from Kittels and Camden Park, has been ordered to pay $750 in compensation in 1 month, failing which a 3-month jail term will be imposed. He was also bonded to be on good behavior for 1 year in the sum of $1,500. If he defaults, the sum becomes payable immediately, or he will face a 6-month imprisonment. That order was given this morning by Acting Chief Magistrate Carla James after she convicted Barker of the offense of unlawful and malicious wounding of Romano Bowens, a 20-year-old unemployed young man from Kittels, on March 22nd. Barker is said to have inflicted a cutlass wound to the right hand of Bowens while they were walking along a footpath in Kittels. This is said to have stemmed from a dispute between both men. Before imposing sentence, the magistrate described Barker's action as excessive.